Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 7 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Create new agreements based on love and respect. Take the responsibility to make new agreements with those you love. If an agreement doesn't work, change that agreement and create a new one. Use your imagination to explore all the possibilities. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials up 160, NASDAQ up 54, S&P's up 19, gold contract up $29, trading out at $1,691 an ounce. Silver up 59 cents at $32.87 an ounce. Platinum up 20 bucks at $1,647 an ounce. Bonds down 10 ticks at 137.16. Oil flat at 107. King dollar gave up 49 ticks at 79.08. Euro up 93 at 133. And the yen up 47 at 82.82. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? You got another day, you got another high. We are at 1416. Takes out the high from the 19th. We do 734 million. That's 734. This is the higher we go, the shorter the volume. Bottom line is that if you happen to be watching Tiger TV, what you're looking at there is this, folks, is that the last 6 days they couldn't get into 800. We should be banging out about 1.4, 1.5. Bottom line, though, you go to a higher high, whether in volume or not, you can get higher, and that's exactly what we have right now. It went to a higher high. Dow Industrials. We take a look at the Dow Industrials. What do you have with the Dow Industrials? Dow Industrials closed up 160. Dow hasn't got into the high yet. The high that the Dow, we're at 13,241. Dow high is 13,289. NASDAQ Composite. Now the Composite, that took over the high, took it over early this morning. Composite also has a price spread. The price spread on the Composite goes like this. You're up 54 bucks. You took out 3080 like nothing, like nothing. Bottom line, price wise, it did. Volume wise, you're at 1.5 billion. You should be banging out 2.4, 2.5. And what that's all about, bottom line, is what? Good old Apple. Apple is moving the Composite as well as moving the NDX 100. What you had with Apple today? Apple closed at 606.98. That's going to go after that 609.45. Hasn't touched it yet. Apple took off from the bottom and took off at about 10:30 this morning. Came down, tried to test come down, did test out the lows of last week. That low was 595. We hit the 595.26. You hit it with lighter volume, and bang, it takes off topside. So that test out there of the 509. I suspect that's going to get tested in the next few days. We go over to the Russell 2000. We take a look at the Russell 2000. If we look at the IWM and the Russell 2000, what you have out here is this. She's right at the high. Last trade of the day actually got her 1 penny over the high. 84.90. What we did here, that high out there was 84.39. We did 53 million shares versus the 66 million. Some of the high volume. Oh, let's go over to the gold contract. Gold out here today, folks. What gold did, gold's trading at 1691. We did 175,000 contracts. It's into the downdraft that was created on the 29th. That downdraft, the bottom of that downdraft is 1,688. So it got into that level, got into it with a lot lighter volume, 250,000 contracts versus 175. But that does put into play the last swing point up here, which is 1717, and we're at 1691 right now. If we go look at the GLD, which trades at 10% of the price of gold, what you're going to see here is this, is that you come up with 13 million versus the downdraft of 20 million on the 13th versus the larger downdraft with 44 million. So what you're still going to need inside that gold market is a lot heavier volume with the price. This is still a confirmed ABC structure on the way down on a weekly basis. Some of the high volume stocks out here, this is what we had. You had BAC up 8 cents. We had Morgan Stanley up 84. Intel was up 32. JP Morgan Chase was up $1. Apple was the big dude out there today, as it normally is. AIG was up 79. We had News Corporation up 40. ExxonMobil 148. Let's go over to Exxon. What we had last week is this. ExxonMobil was the not ExxonMobil, rather, the energy sector, the gas and energy sector, folks, was the only sector that actually came downtown last week. It was an ABC structure on the way down, broke the B-point brokerage volume. Inside that sector, ExxonMobil is the strongest equity out there. So what we had with ExxonMobil today is this. ExxonMobil had a high volume high at 86.89. We closed at 87.03 today, so went in, tested that level. Volume's not bad either. That's saying that it will actually go, there's a higher high out there, which is the 87.94, and it's going to go for it. 87.94 is that high. Now, if we go look at the XLE, so we look at the whole sector. So ExxonMobil is the largest weighting also in there. Whoops, 1 second. Okay. There we go. Okay, so inside the XLE now, this is what you have inside the XLE. The first high in the XLE goes all the way back to October 27th. On October 27th, that high was $73.19. That high was generated with 31 million shares. You went up and tested the high. In November, couldn't handle it. We go from a price point of 73 down to 64. Comes all the way back up, makes another higher high in February. That was 76. Now, this is where the volume contracted dramatically. We contracted to 12 million from 31. Then what ends up happening? Then you get a confirmation you want to go south because then you came downtown with 20. Now we're uptown with 9. I suspect this can get a little bit higher, but it looks that this is still an ABC structure. It already did one ABC down. Looks like it's doing a separate one ABC down. Let's go take a look at Chevron. Look at a few others inside that sector. Chevron, not bad. It's up $1.48 today, but Chevron also is doing the B to C of an ABC structure on the way down. A couple of the weakest ones inside there are still getting basically building cause to get through to the bottom. Baker Hughes is the weakest one inside that whole indice. That is going after the swing point low of October 4th. That October 4th low was 41.91. We're at 43.11. I suspect that's going to not only, well, we'll see whether it takes it out. But it certainly came down hard on a daily, hard on a weekly basis. You know, so last week we came down on 60 million shares versus that swing point of 30 million versus the swing point it's going into of 51 million. So there's real action on the way down inside that sector. Now, let's go over to the financial sector, the XLF. The XLF, that had broken topside last week, had some juice as it broke topside. That was up 24 cents today. That little baby had 75 million. That's going to go tap out this 15.97. No, actually, it's closed right at it. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so your high out there was 15.97. We closed at 15.97. Now, you did 75 million versus today versus 125 million. We'll see whether it can get any more juice inside it. Some of the Dow stocks out here, this is what you have. We had Big Blue. We'll go back and take a look at that. That was up 229. Caterpillar was up by 92. Coca-Cola up 41. Merck up 65. Big Mac up $1.42. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We're coming right back. We had the Dow Industrials up 160. Nasdaq up 54. S&P's up 19. We're going to be right back.